Hi, I'm Hazel, and today we're taking a look at the 25 new mounts on the 8.1 PTR and what you'll be doing to get them. 8.1 launches December 11th for NA, 12th for EU, and 13th for Asia, so mark your calendars if you haven't already. If you're on the edge of a mount collecting meta achievement, these might be just the thing to push you over. Let's start by looking at what you can get for the new Darkshore Warfront. Much like in Arathi Highlands, you'll be seeing these mounts drop from specific rare mobs in Darkshore. All 6 appear to be available to both factions. The Ashenvale Chimaera drops from a Lashineer in Darkshore. We got like an amethyst lilac sort of thing going on. I don't remember Ashenvale having chimeras, but Winterspring had them, and that's the same kind of hemisphere, so I'll buy it. Blackpaw is an unarmored bear with 2 listed drop sources. Before this, the Dark Moon Dancing and Big Battle Bear were the closest things we had to armor-free bears, but Blackpaw loses the saddle too. He's really just a bear. The Frightened Kodo drops from the Frightened Kodo. This is the same look as the basic Tauren racial mounts, but it is a color that we've never had before. You might recognize him as the Kodo from the Terror of Darkshore 8.1 cinematic, which his description text also mentions. It's kinda cool to be able to get that in-game. The last 3 Darkshore Warfront mounts are the Kaldorei, Sandy, and Umber Nightsabers. It's a brand new Nightsaber model in a couple of classic colors. These are not super crazy armored, which I actually prefer because you get a nice view of the updated kitty. The next place you'll be getting mounts is off of the Service Medal vendor in your BFA capital city. You can get service medals from a few places in 8.1, including Warfront World Quests, Incursions, and potentially War Mode. We've got 4 mounts here, 2 for each faction, and these are faction specific. For 200 medals, Alliance will be able to get an Azureshell Krolusk, while Horde can purchase the Rubyshell Krolusk. Step up to 5 times that price, and for 1,000 medals, Alliance can purchase the Priestess's Moonsaber. It is a lovely armored version of the updated saber with some moonlight trails coming off the shoulders. That kinda makes me feel like it could sprout wings, but nothing like that comes up in the flight animation, so who knows. On the Horde side, 1,000 medals will get you the Bloodthirsty Dreadwing. If it looks familiar, it's because it's essentially a less glowy version of the armored Bloodwing shot mount. Not complaining, I love me a good bat. The next mount source we'll be looking at is Island Expeditions. We're getting brand new islands to do, along with some events to go with them in 8.1. Hopefully grinding for these will be slightly less mind-numbing than the last set. Speaking of bats, we have the Blood-Gorged Hunter who comes with a little more armor and that lovely blood fog breath. If that's too vicious for you, there's also the Stonehide Elderhorn for a nice new color of basic moose. The Risen Mare is also a new island drop, and that's notable because it's the first time that the basic unarmored skeletal horse mount will be available cross-faction. The dead horseness of it really comes across better when you don't have armor covering up all of that lovely rotting flesh. The Island Thunder Scale is a brand new color of the Legion Stormwing mounts. These last 4 island mounts have been drops direct from the islands, while the next 2 are available on a vendor in exchange for Seafarer's doubloons. For 500 doubloons, you can get a Saltwater Seahorse aquatic mount. I will consent to ride these things once they are faster than the Underlight Angler trait, and until then they are a waste of time. And then for 1,000 on the vendor, there's this Siltwing Albatross, and I say it like that because it's not actually showing up in the mount journal. Probably just a PTR thing, but hopefully that makes it in because it does look like a really cool mount. Another source of mounts will be the new raid Battle of Dazar'Alor. Mythic Jaina will drop the Glacial Tidestorm mount. Like most Mythic-only mounts, you probably won't see too many of these slooshing around at first. More obtainable is the G-mod, which can drop from High Tinker Mechatorque on presumably any difficulty. And then for Glory of the Dazar'Alor Raider, you can get a Dazar'Alor Windreaver. Can't be mad at that. I mean, I'm sure somebody is, but look at how many teeth this thing has. He's even got a tongue in there, look. The raid mounts, of course, will not be available right at the start of the patch since the raid will be releasing later. The same thing can be said of the next couple mounts, which are a new batch of Vicious mounts. These get added to the game in a major patch, but unlock one set at a time down the road whenever the PvP seasons come out, so it could be a while. The new Vicious mounts are the Vicious Black Bonesteed for Horde and the Vicious Black Warsaber for Alliance. To me, this feels like they've kind of run out of new animals to slap Vicious armor on for the time being, so we're going back to the OG mounts and making some new recolors. After the Vicious Hippo, I can't really blame them. There are 3 new mounts available directly for gold in 8.1. There is a Nazmir vendor, appropriately named Gotham, who sells the blue, green, and yellow marsh hoppers for 1/3 of 1,000,000 gold each. These things are just so very bulbous. I kinda wanna see one sneeze. And of course, we don't know exactly how we'll be getting the hive mind, but we can guess that it's going to take a whole village to figure it out. That or one very large Discord. Back in the beta, this thing had weird text about joining together to fly faster that looks like it's been scrapped. It's still pretty good for a lightning brain with tentacles, though. Very Department of Mysteries. So those are the 25 new mounts, but it's worth taking a look before we go at the updated Tall Strider mount appearances. In 8.1, if you hop onto your Swift Forest Strider, Shore Strider, Spring Strider, or Lovebird, you'll notice that it's gotten a facelift. I'm glad that these weird things have not been left behind to the histories of WoW. There's something about them that's just bizarrely iconic. And that's what's on the way mount-wise in 8.1. Thanks for watching! If you're curious about other things to do and the new features of the patch, I did a video on those that'll link down below. Let me know what you think, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye!